Welcome back here today at the races. Here, of course, with Keith Fustel. Keith gave a little bit of a tip for that first runner that was a $26.80
Yeah, that
runner
was,
for Hammy Smith.
and that was it for the prices. That
Yeah.
ended it. Race 1, 26.80, up the rail. Carrasco with 3 captains for Hammy. Hammy's got a horse here in the opener. But other than that, our next, 880, that was it. That was a good pick by Mackenzie
Yep.
Piper. She made me look bad. Secret zipper right to the front and got it done. My horse just backed on up to a walk. Not good. But, yeah, we had a couple of winners all in all yesterday. But I think, we should get a little bit more value throughout today's card. There's a couple real tricky races on this 9-race card for this Saturday afternoon at Laurel. Sunny skies, looking pretty good out there.
Yeah, it's not too shabby out there as far as, the wind. The wind, to me, in the wintertime, the wind is always going to be the biggest factor for those competing out there, horse and rider, Keith. So we got the 6, that low, easy, breezy 6 miles per hour. Let's get right into it. Let's start with this first leg of the early pick 5. Of course, that low industry takeout starts here in... Just lost my scrolling for a second. The maiden claiming 30,000 here, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 2-year-olds, the straight 2-year-olds, by the way. The number 10 on the outside is your top selection. John, Jack, Jim, J for John Salzman Jr. Michael Sanchez with the blinkers on the outside.
Yeah, this is a little flyer here at 20-1, but we saw the full win yesterday. Stick with the colors. Got it done on the front end with Toledo. This one took a lot of play. This is a deep family. We know some of the siblings. 7 winning siblings. I think all of the ones, except this one so far to race, have gotten it done. But was down inside, took plenty of play in a big field. And I don't think December the 1st, the inside was really the place to be. This horse never got on track, never got comfortable. But there's some staggering stats for Salzman. Maiden second out. Blinkers going on. Lots of big percentages, high percentage. We're talking 30, 40% with positive ROIs. There might be a little bit of speed in here. Yes, Defined Boundaries was part of that contested pace last time. Could be out there. But maybe this outer post will do some good at a good number here for John, Jack, Jim, and Jay. Just taking a little flyer in the opener. I think Fire of Anatolia ran very well in debut for Kieran McGee. It's a video spotlight race for us. Also, December the 1st was maybe on the best part of the track that day, 4 and 5 wide. They were going quick, 22-3, 45-4, pretty demanding fractions. Nola Boss gets the better of Bernie the Star here, turning for home, is able to widen. Pretty menacing move out there for Fire of Anatolia. I think this horse, dropping down a little bit back here, outside to inside kind of move.
Yeah.
I think can move up off of that debut. The number works of a 52 buyer, best most recent buyer for these horses, right? Defined Boundaries tailed off a touch in that maiden special weight category, but I like the 2 in here. You gotta pay attention to the 5, Brittany Russell's horse, part of that flow. I think she's just deadly. Maiden special weight to maiden claiming this horse will be into the fold very early. Superness. Definitely got a lot of experience, got toughened up out of that race. It wasn't the fastest race. 43 buyer, that was a Ness Firster that ran second to Aikman's Audible. But I got eased back off of rivals at the 5/8, shifted out, kind of little green through the stretch, but kept on okay. I think this horse is going to benefit from that debut.
Well,
better than the number, in my opinion.
Yeah, on top of that, just looking at dissecting that race, this one at the half, kind of tucked in behind horses, was geared up bitwise in Jock's hands, and kind of in short, the horse, there wasn't a spot to go into coming into that half, so the horse wanted to go, but the Jock said no, and that's where the conversation kind of started, where I think it was egregious enough to make a difference in the trip overall. So as long as this one could get a clean trip, I think we're gonna see a huge performance and up in performance off of this one.
Okay, yeah. And your more experienced rider here, you go on 5-pound apprentice to J. Rod. Early money here to the 6, Bold Diversion, might be an underuser for me. The 4, Artillery Gunner, also getting early play off of that 21 morning line. A firster for Hammy, a pretty vibrant ownership group. Seeing these guys, they've had some luck with their horses by Central Banker. 2 winning sibs have flashed some speed. A couple of them hit the board first time out. Maybe something to pay attention. Hammy goes and seeks out Torrealba, one of these top riders. When he does that, you pay a little bit of attention. So pretty wide open opener for me. I don't want to take a real short price on anybody. Hence a shot with the 10 at a big number.
There we go. Love it. Kind of describes the card a little bit.
Okay.
10, 2, 6, 8. Keith Fusel there in race number 1. Race number 2 kicks off that first leg of the early pick 4 and claiming 40,000 also for these straight 2-year-olds, but going 5.5 on the dirt here today. Keith, you go with the number 5 on top. Let's have a party. Could have a bit of a party if you get that 8-1 price for Nesvio Balon.
Yeah.
JD Acosta takes the call.
I really struggle with this race. I looked at this race a long time the other day and back at it this morning. I think it's going to be a hot pace, a contested pace. I like the way Chipotle ran the other day, and I don't even have this horse back into the mix.
Right.
I'm looking for somebody from off the pace, and I thought the 5 Let's Have a Party ran very well, kind of following Bangkok Bob at Delaware. That was a 1-2 shot for Gary Cap. The enthusiasm, a lot of energy from the quarter pole past the 16th pole. I think this horse and the 8. They're the 2. I like the 8 shortening up in distance, made a good run, like a 2-3 wide bid, just kind of flattened very late in between horses, a little bit risky. But I think both of these have the running styles that's going to work in race 2. Back at 5.5, I just think it's going to be really hot and contested up front.
Agreed.
Yeah.
5, 7, 3, 8 there. Yeah. Keith, anything on Fear Nothing?
Yes. Yeah, just jumped up out of nowhere and ran a 70. Okay, this was a sharp effort. Sephiroth came back out of that race to win. Didn't run extremely fast, but Hammy, again, raising up, finished behind a little bit risky, but could be the now horse. And this horse has shown the ability to make a move from just off of it.
Yep.
So offers a little bit of value. 7-2 morning line might pop up. You can't take anything less than 7-2 on anybody in here. Kerner's Cape probably the horse to beat, I think, can stay around, but I'm going for some shots in here in race number 2.
I agree with you. I just had to leave Curtis K in there just because of the back class that we've got there, but I love your picks here. 5, 7, 3, 8. Keith Fusel, race number 2. Race number 3, we get to another maiden special weight, this time for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, and also going a mile here. Second wire finish on the dirt, scratching the 2, scratching the 5. Keith, you have the number 1, and you also have that special Keith Fusel stat for us here today.
Yeah, Diane Marici, just pay attention. We might have used this about a couple weeks ago, but we're coming right back.
Still works.
Because the barn, it does still work. You're right. 8 for 22, 36%, 16 to 22 in the money, 282. That is strong. We lose a lot of value here. It was 4-1 on the line. Scratch the 2, Punxsutawney Phil. Scratch the 5. It's a later scratch here in St. Pete's Passion. Yeah, I'm looking at the race. There's not a lot of true speed. And yeah, you're looking at Virginia City's debut. Bigger field was only 3 out of that after that honest quarter, 22 446 and 3 to fade. Coming back, the blinkers went on. Wandered a little bit through the stretch to be DQ'd on the turf, but there is dirt in this family, a couple siblings. We've got an inner post here, a better break. Xavier, I think up on the engine with Virginia City today. Let's try to take them coast to coast. Jeziel, the 4, brutal trip last time at Parks. Rail in tight 8th. Was off a little bit awkward.
Okay.
Just kind of drugged the rider up to contention, sat chilly inside, but was blocked and in hand the last 1/8 of a mile. Toledo said, no mas, I'm not going to fight it. We're going to wait for another day. This is a horse that's kin to Galerio. And talking about Galerio, good little story about that one, getting a little retirement party. Excellent. I like seeing that because that horse was tough.
Yes.
But let's take a shot with Jeziel to lay forward again with a better break, 1, 4, 6, 7. This is a closely matched field. If that's my favorite jumps up, so be it. But the other 4 tough to spot. I like Virginia City. I dug a little deeper into the dirt breeding and things. I think if this horse gets away cleanly, leaving the chute, can really control things up front with the X-Man.
Good. I'm fighting.
Right.
I'm still fighting. I might change that 6 and 7 for the afternoon. Will give me 5 minutes to rethink that again. But 1, 4, 6, 7, always a deliverable Keith Fusel stat on Virginia City on the 1. Race number 4, of course, it starts that rainbow pick 6. We have a nice touch of a little carryover. That's going to be well worth on its way to $6,000 by the time we get to race number 4, post time 147. And taking a look at my ticket, I go ahead and single on Arrow Speed. But to me, it's just standout horse. I almost singled on the number, what was it? I almost singled on the number 8 in race number 5 as well. I like the horse that much, but I added some little padding for security there. I go 3 deep in races 7, 8, 2 deep in races 6 and 9. I will touch into those a little bit further, but $21.60 starts in this claiming 30,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3, going a mile and 16th on the dirt. Let's go ahead. You and I both have this one in our top selection, and let's take a look at why. For Arrow Speed, aptly named here for Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez at Parks.
Yeah, this horse is really, really going great guns right now. This is the only, and we talk about the split condition, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3, or 3-year-olds, this guy. He's won 4. I don't think anybody else has won 3, right? The rest of them are 2-time winners, so he knows where the wire is. He's overcome outer post. He's had the 6 of 6, 7 of 7 when you look at the last 2, and he's game. You hook him, he's going to dig in. Gets a little adversity at the break, but makes that move into the flow, is going to do and get it done here for Ness. He's beaten Traffic Master, his stablemate, in the past. Traffic Master's going to have to make up some ground. Maybe the 2 tries to go, but Arrow Speed, even picking up another couple pounds, I think he keeps it going today and makes it 3 straight for Ness. Yeah, he looks really tough right here, Ness. He's loaded. He's loaded all day, going back when you look through his horses.
Absolutely. And I think they kind of, talking with one of his assistants, kind of geared up that way, kind of with recent weeks being what they were, and kind of making up for some lost time. So touch on the number 4 really quick though. Run for Your Life for Diane Xavier again here. Something just interesting horse here, stepping it up.
Yeah, I mean, and picked it up strong. Final, third quarter, fourth quarter, very, very big for Run for Your Life. You're looking at the last 2. Was claimed back in August, a little freshening. This guy right now is a little different horse. The only thing I'm concerned about, touch upon, say the flow, the pace, and everything. That's it. Will he get enough against a little bit better group maybe than he's faced? But Omar's coming kickstarting. They're no slouches. Okay, this guy made a good run into him, but I think can be a factor here. But Arrow Speed, I think, holds position. I think Traffic Master's going to go. Ghostly Prince, interesting here for Rudy Roddy's 229 ROI, 50% jump on the dirt, coming off a little bit of break. And you're looking at some of the dirt races. Never won on the dirt. But Key's up against Amadeus Music, who ran an 86, big number, just missing in that 20,000 Nest starter. I think he lost to the horse, the something came in from Parks, but wouldn't surprise me, Ghostly Prince. But Arrow Speed's clearly the horse to beat in race number 4.
Absolutely. 1, 2, 4, 3 there for Keith Fustel in race number 4. Race number 5 starts the late pick 5 as well. Of course, as I mentioned, low industry takeout here for these pick 5s in the starter optional 20,000 in this first leg, going a mile, 1-turn mile, second wire finish on the dirt. For the girls, 3 and up, scratching the 7, mainstream sellout. You have the number 2, Woohoo, Jackie Blue here, Jamie Ness, J-Rod, trying to get back into the winner's circle after that effort at Parks last time out.
It's a pretty good little race. I mean, there's a couple horses in here. They scratched the 7 Main Street sellout, who I didn't think had really much of a chance, but it's pretty close, and it's going to be interesting to see the break, the opening quarter, because you've got a couple horses in Joya del Sur and Jess's Gypsy Gal. If they kind of get relaxed, they can go and stretch it. Joy Del Sur, I think, just is a little bit better mare. She's been really good. She's won for Kieran in the past at a mile. So you've got her underneath. She's going to be in my exacta plays. I'm hoping I can catch a little value with the 2, 7-2 on the morning line. Woohoo, Jackie Blue. Overland trip last time at Parks. Things developed leaving the 3/8 for her. She just couldn't make any headway. I think she's a little bit better. I think she has enough speed to lay close and has that style of this 1-turn mile. Get in within a couple lengths turning from home, make a little pop move, quarter to 3/16, and then let's grind it out, because I see this race as a grind for the final 3/16 of a mile. Slight edge to the 2, Woohoo, Jackie Blue.
Why not? Absolutely. Also wanted to discuss the number 5, or the number 8, actually. I almost singled in as a second single here, and she's a Rolling Stone, Jamie Ness, Michael Sanchez here.
Yeah, maybe hedging back to her top buyer figure of a 75 on a fast track, right? She's got a 76 or 78, I can't even read, on an off track. But she had no real excuse last time. Maybe things were just a little too sluggish around the turn. Her entry, stablemate just got the best of her. Had that trip and got it done. She just might be a little bit better right now. But she's a Rolling Stone. Again, that style is, I think it's going to play here. I don't want to take a super short price on her, but she's going to be within my exactas. I think she can ramp up into range by the top of the stretch. I think the 2 has a little bit more positional speed.
Yep, fair enough. I can absolutely see that. Let's talk about your 5. Let's
Yeah.
go ahead and touch on Sadie the Goat, Mario Saray Jr., Georgie Gonzalez. Here last time out, comes back from the 7th of December.
Eventful trip, I guess.
I guess, yes,
This
it
was something. Look at that break. Brutal. Up in the air. Rank at the start. Keyed up, going in behind horses down to the inside into the first turn. Past the mile marker. Steadies along. He's Steve Martin, who does a great job. He and Phil and all the guys in the TV department getting these videos for us together. He's like, man, what a trip she had, right? I don't know if he really saw it the first time when she ran back on December 7th. But she gets outside, and outer portion of the track was okay on the 7 and makes just a bold run. You're thinking there's no way she was going to be able to recover from that early adversity. Well, she did, and she's going to go ahead and move away just under some steady hand ride. It's got to be crazy. You're a jockey. When you get involved in horses.
Keith, I remember seeing this move on the day, and I'm just like, I get 1 to 2, yes, I get it.
Okay.
Here's where I started getting worried for the jock, because to me, yeah, there's no second wire finish, but you just that kind of, to me, it was like, man, that was an early move.
Yeah.
And I got worried, and so but obviously it was 1 to 2 for the reason, but for that horse to just kind of keep going after that, very, very, very impressed with that, Keith.
Yeah, she was a video spotlight that day from the race prior where she was on the front end and went pretty quick. Yeah. She was keyed up. So interesting. Again, does she want to get involved with a duel with Joy Del Sur? I don't think so. But she's shown that ability now to make a run from further back. This is a little bit better group, but man, talking about Saray, it's staggering. I know Dan had mentioned it. Dan Illman's right, does a great job.
Yes.
It's like 40% with this kind of move off of winners coming back in 1 to 7 days.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, this horse has been awfully busy. 3rd start now since November 29th. So she likes to run, I guess. That's Sadie the Goat.
Yep, absolutely. It's kind of it's a move that we've seen time and time again, and a move that time and time again works. There, race number 5 at 2853. The number 3, Nobody Likes Me, for Ernest Hayes to wrap things up with J.D. Acosta.
Yeah, that's one that's just kind of got on a little bit of a roll. Looks like extra ground not going to be a problem. Started its career at 4.5, made a run from far back as the distances got longer. She's definitely gotten better.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be right back after this commercial break for the rest of Saturday's card. And we're back with, of course, race number 6, which you know what that means. That means our jackpot's super high 5-time, of course, but it's also, as of late, become Keith Fusel's late pick 4-time. Let's take a look at the $16 ticket.
Late pick 4-time, 23911. A lot of money's going to be coming in on the 9 D Hopper, but we're also going to toss in Brighty, the 3, I got a little shot here, Blind Eye. We talked about that staff for Marici. And the 11, Hallelujah Harris. Race 7, 8 and 9, 2 deep. Race 7, 1 and 3. Race 8, the 2 and 6. Wrap it up. Race 9, Divine Child holds a little value there in race 9. And the 2, Blue Kingdom's been trying $16 for this late pick 4.
And it does begin here in this maiden, claiming $20,000 for these 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. 7 furlongs here. Scratch in the 10, 30 West. You and I both go with D Hopper. And let's go ahead and take a look at that effort last time out off of the long layoff. This was way back in April at Gulfstream.
April at Gulfstream, and a brutal beginning. Pinch sandwiched at the break.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he tries to go ahead and make another little run to the inside of horses and ends up having to kind of steady along, check, completely thrown out of balance there. D Hopper, that was it. Said, no mas, we're going to go ahead and back up. There it is again. Ugh, trouble trip.
Yeah.
This guy did cross the wire. Got it done in debut. Unfortunately, was DQ'd, drifting out, it looks like. freshened up again. Maiden special weight to maiden claiming. All the stats are there. This looks like an all or nothing. He is a 5-year-old. So this is
Right.
going to be the last chance, right, to break your maiden
Yeah.
in Maryland. D. Hopper, he does have some speed to deal with to the inside. We are going 7/8 off of a layoff, and that could be the difference maker, that final eighth of a mile after he has to deal. Maybe he's just this good. He looks all or nothing. He's on top. But
Right.
don't dismiss Brady. I think Brady's okay. Turning back, turf to dirt, a couple buyer figures that work. 3 next out winners after that, out of that October the 10th race. A little bit against the grain of the racetrack as well, in for the 25 with Milan Milosevic. I think this horse is going to set up shop probably 5-6 out of it. You're going to see a couple horses like White Series, maybe shaking the bell. Just go ahead and go.
Right.
So they might have to make a run from a little bit further back. I think Blind Eye certainly works, coming back turf to dirt. And the 11, Hallelujah Harris. Had an okay try back at Churchill, going 7/8 of a mile in a big field, had a tough inside post, finished up willingly. You've got this horse up a little bit higher in the selections. I can see it.
That's exactly
going
why.
here for Gina Perry to make a run from off the pace. I think D. Hopper gets the jump certainly off those 3 horses underneath. Let's see if he can last. But
last
if
chance.
he's too short, if he's like 4 to 5, I gotta key somebody. I'm keying somebody else in there.
9-2-3-11 there for Keith Fustel in race number 6. Race number struck at 7. A state bred allowance here, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratching the 5 at first sight. Keith, you go with the inside horse. Feeling so lucky. I love this. I could see this horse being a tick higher than 7-2.
Okay.
So I just love this. Gina Perry, Tori Alba here, just cutting back in distance from last time out.
Yeah, her stats second off the claim hasn't been great, but I think she's 50-60% in the money with these runners. It's worked turf to dirt in the past for her. Now she's coming back off. I'm sorry, the route to sprint. My bad. I think she can lay a little bit closer. She was hampered last time out as that leader got to the front and just cooked them on the front end. Lovely charm. But I like that race too. Actually, been kind of a pop move. Yeah. She's been behind Lone Speeds. Maybe Bondiva's a Lone Speed again in here from the outer post. Took that run on the off track last time with Forrest. Got a great ride up the rail and finished. But was that because the slop? Because she had never been in the slop before. But the race is going to go through Bondiva. But I think feeling so lucky, shortening back up through the 3/4, it's going to work. I think she's going to make that sharp move, say 5/16 to upper stretch to engage.
Absolutely. Just you kind of have to trust that a little bit. I have too many notes to cover on that horse.
Okay.
Let's talk about the 3, Shine On Moon. Let's go ahead back to that effort, going 6 furlongs. State bred allowance here for Cal Lynch, J-Rod.
She's been a little bit of an unlucky filly. She hasn't had some of the cleanest trips on the dirt and the turf. This particular day, she drew the inside on October the 11th, the 2-back try on her PP lines. Got in trouble early, bobbled starts. She's going to kind of go up, kind of by, then she drops back, and then she gets in a little trouble into the turn. We're going to follow this out into the turn. There's Bondiva, was in this race as well. Bondiva, I think, was favored on that race on the 11th. Right,
yep,
right.
9 to 5.
She kind of battled. But she's just kind of lost her way to Shine On Moon. I think, if she can kind of break cleanly, get relaxed a little bit, right? She didn't want anything. That horse was backing up in front of her at the 3.5.
Yes.
She can relax through the first quarter, maybe get a little bit further off the inside and track. She could get more comfortable and make a finish. Honor the Truth. Another one with some dirtied up form, way back after trouble on the turf. That race at Timonium was much better than maybe what it looks.
Okay.
It was weird for her because I thought she was more of kind of a one-run sprint type. She was up close and she checked and she made another little rebid and churned on.
Okay.
Sneaky for a barn, going good right now. Gorham won the nightcap last night. Honor the Truth as a user. Might sneak away at a good price.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Field here.
Very much so. 1, 3, 2, 6. As we go on to our feature in this allowance optional 55, going at 6 furlongs, 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the 3 Swill. You go with the number 2, Chat a Lot. Let's look a lot here in this last effort. Out at Parks for Jamie Ness. Pennington on screen.
Yeah, our 2 horses here. You're 6'2", I'm 2'6". Yeah, flip a coin.
Right,
basically.
I originally had 6'2".
So they're both coming in off the
Or
park
2'6",
surfaces. Park surface. These horses have come in. The Ness horses, Parks to Laurel, have been good. But Chat a Lot makes this move up through wide. Going to challenge. Going to shake clear. Widened by 4 and some change. Now, from this inner post today, I think he's a little bit quicker than Five Dreams has been of recent note. I think he might go ahead and be aggressive. This is a horse that's you're going to go back, a stakes winner. He's run some big races. Tops out at a 92. That was on a slop at 89, nearly a 90.
Yeah.
Raises up for Ness. He's a second-time gelding. Lots to like here. I think he can kind of get put into the fire, and I think he can withstand from the 3/8 home. But Midliner, you got to really like this horse as well. Has won 2 straight, has had the advantage of making those inside runs to get it done. But he looks like the one that's going to get that perfect setup. Because I think Factually Correct goes into the heat. So does Karen's Notion. There's Midliner just kind of sitting there. Michael Moore, looking at him the last 45 days, 31%, 274 ROI. They both key up against Meet Me at Mondays.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a good run between both of these from the 3/16 home.
Absolutely. 2, 6, 7, 1 for Keith Fusel there in race number 8. Race number 9, our finale here on Saturday, is going to be a claiming 30,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2, going 3/4 of a mile in the dirt. You have the number. We go outside, inside. You go with the inside. You go with Divine Child, Carlos Mencia, Tori Alba here. Clearly, the big help is just coming down to this level, but has done it the hard way as well.
This horse has gone off some big odds, 55 to 1, 30 to 1 in the last, but he hasn't completely disgraced himself against really good horses. Doc Linkus, Clubman, Celtic Contender. He's there. He's within 5 or 6 of them.
Yep.
That's good enough for me. You've got Tori Alba. These guys are trainer, Jock, you're going to try to team up for a win. They haven't had the best of luck, but you know what? I think today's the day. Divine Child is going to get position. Was wide into that flow last time. You're looking at true speed in here. There's a couple that's going to go ahead and go, but this horse is going to be forward. I think he's going to really kind of earn it from the top of the stretch. But Blue Kingdom, you can't leave out. 7 to 5 on the morning line. Just been a trier.
Yes.
He needs the relief as well. And I think turning back is going to work for him. I know we're a little pressed for time, but yeah, we're right around the same horses in here.
And there we have it. 1, 2, 6, 3 for Keith Fusel. Let's dive into those a little bit. You kicked things off with a value play in race number 2 with Nesville Bailon, and I think it was Angel Cruz there.
Yeah, let's have a party. Yeah, we're going to talk
1.
about let's have a party, a value play. Just looking for a horse that can make that run from off the pace. I thought this horse ran very good behind a 1 to 2 shot. That was a Gary Cap runner at Delaware, a little bit of a freshening. Bayon runner's been okay. Just be patient, sit back. Things will develop into and around the turn, and I think this horse can strike from the top of the stretch.
Virginia City is your best bet of the day in race number 3 with Diane Ricci and Xavier Perez at 4 to 1.
Turf to dirt move, suffered an unfortunate DQ, and he was drifting about and caused a little bumping there in the stretch on the turf. Turf to dirt's going to work. This horse has family. Yeah. Look at the recent workouts. A slew of bullets for a barn going great guns. Let's go to the front, X-Man, and take it from there.
Let's also discuss race number 9. We just went over at your value play in Divine Child for Carlos Mencia with Tori Alba there in the finale.
Just glancing, the horse looks a little dirtied up. Hence, you might get an okay price, and I can see why Brian has this horse 5 to 1 on the line. It's just kind of, you look at the finishes and everything like that, a little blasé. You dig a little deeper. This horse is a little bit better than what you think, and I think he's going to fit perfectly in the 9th race.
And let's go over overall stats here for the Capital Meet. Well, overall wins. Of course, Brittany Russell just on a tear. We've discussed this time and time again. Congratulations to Brittany. Let's go ahead on to the jocks.
Yep.
Of course, here in the top mark here for Jamie Rodriguez, just delivering with prices too. It's been phenomenal watching him ride.
Oh yeah, and this is good. Tori Alba making a lot of strides as well. Sanchez. So again, you hear me say it all the time. Quality group. Some numbers, edges go to J. Rod and Toledo. Okay,
right.
they're with the leading trainers, and that's why they're up there for a reason. So, but I like I say, they're hitting also at some good numbers. Tori Alba as well. I think he's really solidified himself as one of the top riders around here in this Mid-Atlantic.
He's been able to transfer his apprenticeship to his journeyman just extremely well. Yeah. Also, just wanted to mention, I just was watching Fairgrounds the other day, yesterday, and J-Ron Barbosa gave the Fairgrounds people it was either a 4 to 1 or an 8 to 1 winner, so that was nice too.
Yeah.
Our talent just kind of keeps it goes everywhere there, but we will head over to more talent there with Dave Rodman, the voice of Maryland, for more changes and scratches.
All right, good luck, everybody.